everybody, and welcome to Final Play Sports Wrap. I'm your host, Pete Lubar, and football season is all but wrapped up. A few bowl games left. The national championship games are still to come, but 2 days before Christmas, it's time to start talking basketball, and today we're talking Big 12 basketball. I plan to cover each of the 16 teams in the Big 12, where they are in the, I'll call it preseason, the non-conference portion of the schedule, as we head into conference games beginning the first week of January. So I'm going to take it through all the teams. The Big 12 is absolutely loaded again. They've got 4 teams in the top 10. They've got 6 teams in the top 25. Arizona is ranked number 1 in the nation. Iowa State not far behind at number 3. Houston is at 8. And BYU right now is at 10. So we're going to cover that. As good as the Big 12 is in football, I think they're better in basketball. And I think they're one of the 2 best teams in the 2 best leagues in the country in basketball. So let's get started. Arizona is ranked number 1 in the AP poll. They are 28th in scoring defense. They are 12-0 after last night's win. They've played a great schedule. They've got good wins against Florida, UCLA, UConn, Auburn, and Alabama. So Tommy Lloyd's getting it done with his team. The team's fairly big. They've got a 7'2" kid named Mateus Krivas. They've also got a big guard, Anthony De La Rosa, and those are key contributors. Jason Bradley has transferred in from Alabama. He's averaging 13.6 a game. Freshman forward Koa Pete, 6'8" kid, 14 points and 5 rebounds. He was a 5-star recruit. A lot of people thought he was the second best recruit or third best recruit in the entire draft. So they've got 5 kids in double figures. And they've also got Tony Awaka, who is a rebounding machine at 10.1 rebounds per game for the 6'8" senior. So a really deep, really good, really tall team, beating really good opponents. They're going to be tough all year. They'll be there at the end. I would guess they'll be a top 4 or top 8 seed in the NCAA tournament. So good things going on in Arizona and Tucson. Iowa State is 3rd overall. They are 12-0 as well. 15th in the nation in scoring offense at 90.5 points a game. But they're also 10th in scoring defense, and that's around 60 points a game. And their best win was over Purdue, who was ranked number 1 at the time. They've also beaten St. John's and Iowa. Haven't obviously lost, so no losses. Their best player is Milan Momcilovic, not sure how they say it. He's a 6'8" senior forward. He's averaging 18.3 points per game, 3.2 rebounds. He is shooting 56% from the three-point line. So just so you know, 38% is considered to be a good shooter from three-point range. If you're 40-41, you're an excellent shooter. He's literally shooting 56%. So Momcilovic is a really good shooter, really dangerous guy. They've also got Josh and Jefferson, who averages 17.7 points per game and 7.5 assists, which is really high. And then you've got a freshman, Kylian Tour from France, and he's a shooting guard, and he's been averaging 11 points a game and 3.2 rebounds. So really good guard play from Ohio State, but Momcilovic is clearly the best player on the team right now. Houston is 11-1. They're 4th in scoring defense overall nationally, limiting opponents to 60 points a game. Kelvin Sampson does a great job defensively with that team. They have also beaten Auburn and Arkansas, so 2 top 25 wins. They did lose to Tennessee, which is not a bad loss. Tennessee's ranked in the top 20. Emmanuel Sharp is back. He was a stud last year. He's back this year. He's averages 17.6 points a game, and he shoots 41% from three-point range. Milos Uzan is also back. He scores 11.3 and 5 assists. And then they added a freshman guard, Kingston Fleming, and he's putting in 15.3 and 3.3 rebounds. So guard heavy, that's a hallmark of Samson's offense, is 3 guard, 2 forward. And once again, they look like they're going to be a tough team. BYU is 12-1. They are 29th in scoring defense nationally, limiting teams to 65.4 points a game. Their best win was against Wisconsin when they were ranked. They're no longer ranked. Villanova, Miami, and Clemson, their worst loss, they lost to UConn by 2. So that's not really a bad loss either. UConn's in the top 10. But their freshman forward, Al Daibansa, is scoring 22.3 points a game, 6.9 rebounds, and 3.3 assists. He was the number 1 recruit in the nation last year, and he's going to be a certain top 10 pick in the NBA in 2026. So Al Daibansa, really good player, big man. Richie Saunders is back. He's a 6'5 senior, averages 18.3 points a game and 5.2 rebounds. He shoots 41.1% from the 3. And then Robert Wright III averages 16.1 points. The team itself averages 85.6 points per game, which is somewhere in the top 10 nationally, or somewhere in the top 30 nationally. So good team all around. Good defensively, good offensively. Oklahoma State is 11-1. They brought in a starting lineup of transfers. So all the guys that are leaders in scoring are transfers from other places. Their best win this year was over Texas A&M when Texas A&M was ranked. They may still be. They did lose to Oklahoma. Once again, not a terrible loss. Anthony Roy is a transfer from Wisconsin Green Bay. He gets 16.2 points a game and 3.8 rebounds. Victorious Miller from LSU averages 15.7 and 3 rebounds. And Oregon State transfer Parsifala, 6'10 senior forward, gets 13.1 and 5.8 rebounds. So we're not really sure whether Oak State's that good. They've played a bit of a cream puff schedule, but these transfers they brought in seem to be the real deal. So we'll see how that shakes out in conference play. UCF is 10-1. They are 29th in the nation in scoring offense at 88.6 points per game. They also beat Texas A&M. Texas A&M is an interesting case because they're a really high-scoring team, but apparently they don't play much defense. They did lose. UCF did lose to Vanderbilt, which is once again a quality loss. And they're led by 6'9 junior Jordan Burks, 13.7 points per game, 4.5 rebounds. He's a transfer from Georgetown. Guard Riley Kugel, 13.3 points, transferred from Mississippi State. Jamichael Stillwell, a forward, averages 12.4 and 9.1 rebounds. He is a transfer from Milwaukee. So once again, sort of like Oklahoma State, UCF has brought in a team of players to replace either players they lost last year or wanted to improve their starting lineup. CU is 10-2, and their best win was against Providence. They also just recently beat Washington. They have lost to upstate rival Colorado State, and they've lost to just last week to Stanford. They've got freshman guard Isaiah Johnson, who's averaging 14.8 points per game and 2.6 rebounds. They've got a sophomore forward, Sebastian Rancic, who's a 6'11 kid, 13.2 points a game and 5.5 rebounds. And then they've got Barrington Hargress, a junior guard, 13 points, 1.7 rebounds per game. So CU once again, they haven't played the hardest schedule, so we'll have to see uh, whether they're going to be any good or not. Relative, you know, you look at scores, and they lost to CSU at CSU, but then CSU lost to uh, Grand Canyon State in Arizona by 40 the other night. So you don't know. You don't really know how good they are yet until they start playing equal opponents. Baylor is 9-2. They are 10th in the nation in scoring offense. They average 93 points a game. Their best wins are against Creighton and San Diego State, so two good wins there. Their loss was to Memphis, who is average, and St. John's, who hasn't started off as well as I thought they'd play this year. Um, they've got a transfer from Tennessee, 6'5" sophomore, who's by the name of Cameron Carr. He averages 21 points per game, 5.6 rebounds. 44.7% from three-point range, so a terrific shooter. And they've got a freshman guard, Tounde Yesofo, 18.5 points per game and 5.8 rebounds. So Baylor's always well coached and should have a decent season. Kansas is at 10-3, and Kansas arguably plays the hardest non-conference schedule in the conference. So it's not surprising that they would lose a couple of games early. They're 16th in scoring defense. Bill Self, a great coach. They beat Tennessee. They've beaten Missouri, and they've beaten NC State. And their losses, all quality losses, Duke, UNC, and UConn. So they're in good shape right now. They did not have a season last year like they expected. And I think part of it is they're kind of waiting to see or taking advantage of freshman guard Darren Peterson, a 6'6" guard. He is a top 5 recruit. A lot of people think he was the second best recruit in the country last year, 5-star recruit. He's averaging 19.3 and 3.8 rebounds. He shoots 43.3% from the three-point range, so another terrific shooter. They've got 6'10" sophomore forward Flory Badunga, who's been averaging 14.4 and 9.3 rebounds. And they've got guard Trey White, who's 14.3 points per game. So expect a good season out. It'll be interesting to see once they start playing against the Iowa States and Arizona, whether they're good enough now or not, or if they might need another year of seasoning. TCU is 9-3. They're 23rd in scoring defense under Jamie Dixon. Their best win was beating Florida, who was at the time number 2, I think, and they beat Wisconsin, who was also in the top 25 at that point. However, they did lose to New Orleans, and they've lost to Notre Dame, and they lost to Michigan. Michigan's a quality loss. Michigan's number 1 or number 2 in the nation, depending on who you talk to. But Notre Dame is a 500 team at best in the ACC, and New Orleans may win their conference, but that's not the same level of competition that TCU expects to play at. So we'll see if that holds up. They lost. They're led by forward sophomore 6'7" David Punch, who averages 13.8 points per game and 7.9 rebounds, and they've got senior guard Jaden Pierre. So Texas Tech 9-3, their best win. They beat Duke last week, so that was Duke's first loss, I believe. And they've also beaten Wake Forest. They've lost all quality losses to Illinois, Purdue, and Arkansas. They are led by Player of the Year in the Big 12, J.T. Toppin, the 6'9" junior, he's getting 21.6 points a game and 10.5 rebounds, which is 11th in the nation. They've got senior guard Christian Anderson, 19.9 points, 3.4 rebounds, and 7.3 assists, which is 7.3 assists is 4th in the nation. And they've got a 6'6" junior forward, Lejuan Watts, who's averaging 14.5 and 5.9 rebounds. He's a Washington State transfer. So they're 9-3. All their losses are good losses. And last year they were a really good team, and they basically have the same team back. And when you're building around JT Toppin, who is just a horse inside, you're going to have a good team. So it would not surprise me if Texas Tech moves towards the top of the rankings in the Big 12 as the season progresses. ASU, under Bobby Hurley, is 9-4. They beat both Texas and Oklahoma, so a couple of SEC wins. But they lost to Oregon State, Gonzaga, UCLA, and USC. So apparently they just can't play and beat West Coast teams, ex-Pac 12 teams, or future Pac 12 teams. So they've got a good guard named Maurice Odom. He transferred in from Pepperdine. 16.2 points per game, 3.5 rebounds, and 6.2 assists. And they've got senior guard Anthony Johnson, 13.6 points a game. He transferred, believe it or not, from the University of Cumberland, where he was an All-American in NAIA. He shoots 40% from three-point range. And then they brought in a big guy, 7.1 freshman, Masamba Diop. He's averaging 13.2 points per game and 5.2 rebounds. West Virginia also sort of brought in a whole new team this year. They are 9-4. They are fifth in the nation in scoring defense. Their best win is Pittsburgh, but Pittsburgh I don't think is very good this year. Their worst loss is to Xavier, which isn't very good this year, but it counts as a Big East loss, so then it's okay. They've got a senior, Honor Huff, who came in from Chattanooga, and he's a guard, averaging 17.8 points per game, shoots 41.9% from three-point range. And the new coach, Ross Hodge, brought in a bunch of kids from North Texas. So he's got a couple of guys that he's going to lean on that played with him at North Texas. But he's got 7 or 8 transfers in. And so it's hard to tell where Virginia's going to be. They're beating the teams they're supposed to. I suspect, though, they'll have trouble in the Big 12 and probably will end up in the bottom half. Kansas State, their best win is they beat Creighton a couple of weeks ago, and then they beat Cal. So 2 okay wins, and then they lost to Bowling Green. Nebraska is a top 15 team right now. Indiana is a good team, and Seton Hall. They're led by P.J. Haggerty, a junior guard. Haggerty is scoring 22.8 points per game, 4.8 rebounds, and 4.5 assists. He's 40% from three. He also leads the conference in scoring. He's a transfer from Memphis. And then you've got a guard, David Castillo, 13.7, 2.3, 42.2% from three, another really good shooter. And Abdi Basher Jr., a 6'7" guard, coming in, averaging 13 points a game, transferred in from Monmouth. And so KSU, 4 losses already, probably going to be middle to bottom of the pack in the conference. Utah is 8-4. Their best win is against Ole Miss, but they've lost to Cal Poly, Cal, Mississippi State, and Grand Canyon already. Their best player is Terrence Brown, 21 points, 2 rebounds, and 3.9 assists. He's a transfer from Farley Dickinson. And they've got a guard named Don McHenry, 19.2, 3.3 rebounds. And finally, we get to Cincinnati, who's 7-5 right now. They beat Dayton, but they've lost to Louisville. No shame in that. But they also lost to Eastern Michigan and have lost to Georgia, Clemson, and Xavier. Against Clemson, they erased a 27-point hole, but still lost by 3. They've got a kid, senior, 6'11", Baba Miller, and he's transferred in from Florida Atlantic. He's averaging 13.9 points per game, 10.6 rebounds, which is 10th in the nation in rebounding, so really solid rebounder. And they got point guard Jizzy James, who's the son of Edgar and James, the football player for the Colts. He was out for the bunch of games because he was having some disagreements with the coach. He was restated a couple of games ago, and since then has averaged 13 points per game, and in the 2 games back. So if you kind of look at the where we are with the Big 12, you got, I don't know, you might have 7 or 8 teams in the tournament. Arizona, Iowa State, BYU, probably maybe Baylor. Kansas usually makes it. Texas Tech will make the tournament. And then you got a bunch of other guys who started off with pretty good schedules. But, obviously non-conference, it's easy to pack your schedule with teams that aren't as good as you. And if you play most of your games at home, you're going to win those games. So it's all going to change next week. We're going to find out who's really the star of the Big 12. But you got 5 or 6 teams there that could easily win the title, regular season championship, and would be obviously a very high seed for the NCAA tournament. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe to my YouTube page, and hope everyone has a Merry Christmas. Appreciate you. Bye.